Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have two reasonably important games. We've got an away game against Levante, followed by a game against Stade Rennes in the Champions League. In terms of our recent form, it's been a little bit wayward recently, to be honest. Since you were last with us for the Zaragoza and Benfica games, I think it was, we ended up losing our following two league games against Villarreal and Atletico Madrid. The goal that Villarreal scored was an unbelievable free kick, but our goalkeeper should have been doing better. But since then, Lyon, we beat them 3-0. They had a red card after just 3 minutes, and we managed to get back to winning ways there. Malaga are having a really good season, but we still managed to win by 3 goals to 2 against them. And then we beat Bilbao by 4 goals to 0. Verelst, incidentally, is turning out a very good season so far as well. He's currently our captain, and he is now up to a 4.5 star current ability. He is one of the big players in this squad now. So going into these two games against Levante and Rennes, the league table, it says that we're fourth, but a win here today would see us go joint top with Real Madrid. It's very, very close in that top four at the moment. Form does seem to be going in our favour again after those few defeats. And in terms of the Champions League, again, a little bit wayward. Obviously, after losing to both Arsenal and Benfica, we've not really got much wiggle room for error. We need to win our last few games, so the game against Rennes is quite a sizable one. They're sat in 8th place at the minute, so a good result against them would see us really push up the table as we look to qualify for those automatic spots to get into the round of 16. So going into this game against Levante, we are rotating a little bit once again. We've got Headley in goal, Balde, Otto, Scalvini and Echeverria at the back, Gonzalez, Pedro and Morikawa in midfield with Tobias Gonzalez and Ramalhet out wide with Ramos up front. Ramalhet has started to come back into the side. He's knocked in a couple of goals as well. And we do seem to be just starting to pick it up again, like I was saying. So fingers crossed we can continue to do the same. I am expecting to beat Levante, but with us being away from home, you never really know, do you? So fingers crossed, and let's get things underway. They're not in the best of form, Levante. They haven't won in their last 5 games, but 3 of them have been draws, so they have been close. Tobias Gonzalez with a free kick, aims it toward the far post, and I think it was Otto who had the header, and it went just over the bar. He could have struck it from there, really. Tobias Gonzalez. He's in really good form himself. He's certainly emerging to be a key player for us at the moment this season. Here is Rukavina. Scalvini manages to clear into Pedri. Now Gonçalo Ramos. Morikawa looking for Ramalhet. Manages to beat the defender to it. Can he get the strike away? It's well blocked by the defender. And Hez clears to Rukavina. He is under pressure though. Alcacer looking to loft it forward. Trasoldi couldn't beat Scalvini, and Pedri picks it up into Gonçalo Ramos. Again, very incisive passing, and Ramos is in through the centre now, and there is the lead. 11 minutes gone. Gonçalo Ramos with the finish, and again picked up the ball quite well in the with Scalvini. Pedri with a very incisive ball forward into Ramos. Morikawa and Ramalhet linking up, back with Ramos again, and he slots it past the goalkeeper. And he's scored 20 plus goals already this season. We're not halfway through it yet. He has been in top form so far. Here is Tobias Gonzalez. Moving into centre of the pitch. Quite a wayward run from him, even though he's quite deep. Morikawa into Ramalho. Looked over the top for Ramos. Couldn't find him. But Morikawa has picked it up again. And Ramos with a lovely pass. And Pedri with the finish. And it is 2-0. There's a hint of offside potentially, but it doesn't look like it's even going to VAR. 16 minutes gone, and we have a 2-goal advantage. Ramalhet tried the ball over the top. Silva cleared only as far as Morikawa. Ramos with a little reverse pass into Pedri, who slotted it past the goalkeeper superbly. He's had a bit of a strange season, Pedri. He's been a bit in and out of the team, and he's been in and out, same with his form as well, but again, just seems to be starting to pick it up here, and We need all of our players to be in top form if we're going to be challenging for this title. But so far, quite close in the league. 4 teams just separated by the 1 point. It's going to be very difficult. Brilliant clearance there. Ramalhet picks up on this right hand side. Chance to play it into the penalty area. He's just holding on to it, and in the end he's actually been brought down, and it's a penalty here. Gustavo Sarr with the challenge. And Ramalhet wasn't really going anywhere with that. He might have been able to get a strike away eventually, but he's won the penalty, and Gonçalo Ramos with a chance to make it 3-0 here after 27 minutes. It's a good strike, but Thomas with a very, very good save for Levante. And it remains 2-0, but we continue to press. Gonzalez with the ball, whipping it in toward the far post. It was well cleared, but Hez was surrounded by 3 of our players there. And Tobias Gonzalez again picking it up on the left-hand side. Now with Pedri into the penalty area. Ramalhet at the far post. He managed to win it really well. Directed it superbly. Went across the face of goal, and there was no one else there to tap it in, unfortunately. Levante currently with no attempts at goal either. We've had 12 attempts, 13 now, 8 of which on target. And possession is very much in our favour. We need to get a third, in my opinion. And Ramalhet's just been played through, and that is a lovely finish from Eddie Ramalhet. Ramos with the assist. And there is the third. Just as I was asking for it, we go and do it. Brilliant stuff. Scalvini had the free kick, just laid it into Morikawa. Federico Gonzalez into Ramos. Straight through the middle of that Levante defence. And Ramalhet with a very nice finish into the top corner. Trasolda into Hez, now Williams, into Silva, now Bayer, into Gustavo Sarr. Potential opportunity for Levante straight from kickoff here. Parle. Balde couldn't quite win it. Williams into Gustavo Sarr, and that is a big chance that for Levante to just give themselves a little bit of a look in. It's the first real chance they've had, and we just seem to let them play around us a little bit there. We need to be a little bit more focused. Here is Morikawa. Federico Gonzalez into Scalvini. Echeverria moving down this right hand side. Has support ahead of him if he can find it. Instead lays it back to Morikawa. He plays it forward brilliantly for Gonçalo Ramos, and in the end Silva and Alcacer just about managed to clear it between them. And Hez knocks it forward looking for Trasoldi. Otto wins it. Now Morikawa. Lovely pass into Pedri. And now Ramalhet. And that is number 4. Really good incisive attack there. There is a hint of offside though, and I'm not entirely sure if he was or not. We worked it very well through the centre of the pitch, and Pedri, I thought, timed his pass quite well, but just about offside, unfortunately. And it remains 3-0. Powell here with the corner. In it goes, Heddle claiming superbly. And a chance to lay it off down this right-hand side. Instead, he's... Oh, no, he has gone to the right in the end. Scalvini picks it up into Echeverria. Morikawa. Bit of a lazy pass, but Rukavina did just lose out to Morikawa there. Echeverria continuing his run down this right-hand side. Plays it inside to Morikawa. Back into Echeverria again. Hez wins it back and finds Hernandez. Looking over the top for Trasoldi. He was just allowed to control that, and Williams is completely free. I thought he was marked, but it was actually the referee. And Parle plays it into the penalty area for Gustavo Sarr. And another hint of offside maybe here. VAR is checking, and the goal's been awarded. Very poor from our point of view defensively. We've controlled the game throughout. It's their first shot on target, and Powell here with a free kick toward the far post, and the header was won by their player, and Heddle claims again. They have just started to get a little bit more game time here, Levante, in this match. We need to really focus in this second half, I think, to be honest, or otherwise we might find ourselves dropping points. Here is Balde into Otto. Chance to play the ball forward. He just carries it a little bit further. Pedri into Morikawa. Lovely ball over the top. Ramos couldn't beat Thomas to it. It was the right idea from Morikawa, but the pass was just a little bit too heavy. And the keeper clears it forward. Gustavo Sarr couldn't beat Scalvini. Morikawa into Pedri. Now Ramalhet. Over the top. Gonçalo Ramos this time does beat the keeper to it. He's finished it really well. And again, there may be a hint of offside here. Goal disallowed again, so we've had 2 goals disallowed for offside now, and we've missed a penalty. So very fine margins here. Currently set at 3-1, and I'm really happy with the performance overall. But defensively, we've just been a little bit lax occasionally, and it has led to Levante getting their goal. But slightly better time runs from the strikers, and we've got another 2 goals under our belts. And at 3-1 already, which is, I'd like to think it's comfortable. We just need to get that little bit more out of the team, I think. As such, we are going to demand a little bit more from them, and hopefully we can get that fourth. Here is Balde. He has got support in the penalty area if he can find it. Lays it back to Tobias Gonzalez. Now Federico Gonzalez. Morikawa on the edge of the penalty area. Rukavina does well to win possession. Here's Echeverria. Lays it off. Gonçalo Ramos with the finish. There's number 4. That's the one that we wanted. Half an hour to go. And it is 3 points secure. We worked it quite well in the end. Federico Gonzalez with the pass to Echeverria really opened things up. Ramos with a nice little reverse finish into the bottom corner. The keeper had no chance there. And 4-1 with half an hour to go. Certainly going to potentially look into getting some of the youngsters on again, as such, with it being such a comfortable lead now. And as you can see, a number of the players have just suddenly dropped in terms of their fitness, so we are going to have to certainly make some changes. Ball out into Federico Gonzalez. Here's Pedri, just losing out to Bayer, but we just about managed to win it back. Morikawa looking for Ramalhet, and they managed to get it clear. Here is Tresoldi for Levante. Chance to move down left-hand side. He cuts inside. Federico Gonzalez with a brilliant challenge. Tobias Gonzalez into Ramos, and now Ramalhet is there, and that is a lovely finish. He just slides it past the goalkeeper. It's 5-1 now, and that is that. Really good performance. Ramalhet and Ramos are on hat-tricks, but we've had injury concerns with a number of our strikers already this season. I'm not going to risk them any further. It really is not worth it. And we'll move Pedri out wide, I think, and then we'll get the changes made in central midfield by the looks of it. Do that. And Otto's on a yellow card. We don't want anything happening there, do we? And there's our 5 substitutions made. So a couple of the youngsters getting on. And 1 or 2 of the other players are coming on as well. Ramos and Ramalhet. 2 goals and 3 assists for Ramos. He's been involved in everything today. Ramalhet 2 goals and 1 assist, with Pedri with the other goal. And here is Morikawa into Sanjak. Back to Morikawa again. Gelma just holding on to it. Plenty of time on the ball. Into Morikawa. Now Jan Low. Lovely ball forward. And here is Charles de Ketelaere. He tried to take it around the keeper. I mean, he went far, far too wide there and closed the angle down completely. We are trying to sell him, incidentally. He's a big player, but he's not getting a lot of game time for us, and he's just dropped down the pecking order. Pedri on the volley there, way over the crossbar. But yeah, back to De Ketelaere. We are still trying to find suitors for him. Obviously, he's on 250 grand a week. It's going to take a lot for teams to match his wages. And there is Jan Low, Charles De Ketelaere, with a lovely little through ball, actually. And Low potentially offside, but I think he timed the run quite well. And is that 6-1? Yes, it is. It was a very good finish. And Pedri just laid it off into Morikawa, who found De Ketelaere. He managed to turn, play the pass, and Jan Low with a nice little finish into the bottom corner. Yeah, as I was saying, De Ketelaere has not had too much game time this season, and he's not kicked up a fuss just yet. But we have transfer listed him now, and I think it's the right time to let him go. We're playing well, and like I say, a lot of the time we're not playing him, so it's just one of those things. Levante have actually just pulled another goal back. It's 6-2. Di Stasio with the finish, and De Ketelaere now into Morikawa straight from kickoff. Here's Echeverria into Morikawa again, looking over the top, and Jan Low looking to get in behind the defender Silva there, and Thomas manages to clear. Gelma wins the header. Now Sanjak. Back into Gelma. Now Morikawa again. Again, a lovely little pass from Morikawa. Low was there, and the ball got played across to De Ketelaere, who managed to get the strike away. and it was cleared. And Chisoldi heading the ball out for another corner from the original one from Balde. And Lowe is going to take this one. Again, it's going to be aimed toward the far post. He's lofted it in, and in the end, they just managed to get it clear. Free kick on the edge of the area now after Aristide Bell is brought down, and it's going to be De Ketelaere to take. De Ketelaere's strike, and it's a good save from Thomas, and Allega manages to clear. But as you can see, I mean, Levante have had 5 shots on target over the course of the game. They've scored 2 of them. We've had 16 attempts on target, 6 of them converted, and we had 2 disallowed and a missed penalty. So you can see how much dominance we actually had in that game. A very, very good performance overall. Can't argue with that. Going into the game against Rennes, in form, the way that we've picked it up again after those few defeats, I'm feeling reasonably confident. But they are a good side, Rennes. They've got some very good players. It is where we signed Achabar from, and they've got one of the best strikers in the world in, I think he was called Julian Milares, if I remember rightly. Really, really good player, and they've built a very strong team in the in Ligue 1. So certainly things to look at going into that game against Rennes. We've got a few days to get through until we get to that game, so bear with me, and then we'll be back for the Champions League. Okay then, here we go for this Champions League game against Rennes. No fresh injury concerns, which is always good news, of course. Incidentally, one thing I did neglect to mention is Everton won the Champions League last season. Bit of a strange one, but and they are doing quite well in it this season as well, so they are a team to keep an eye on. They have been linked with a couple of our players recently as well, so we have offered Verels the new contract. No news as of yet as to whether he's going to sign it or not. And Everton have also now registered interest in Federico Gonzalez, who again, we may end up offering him a new contract to tie him down. Hedl in goal today, Molina, Olsen, Scalvini and Achabar at the back, Gonzalez, Verelst and Caminata in the midfield 3 with Tobias Gonzalez, Ramalhet and Ramos as our front 3. Again, certainly a very strong starting 11, and hopefully with this new system that we play with the attacking mentality, we can get a good result here in the Champions League. We did well against Lyon, but they did go down to 10 men early, of course, as I mentioned before. And I think after this one, we've only got 2 more Champions League games, I want to say. Maybe 3, I'm not sure. And they're against, I think, if I remember rightly, Shakhtar and Red Bull Salzburg. So very much winnable games. But if we can win this one, then there's a little bit less pressure on us going into those 2 games. But if we win all 3, we're in with a chance of a top 8, which is something we're yet to do here at Barcelona, and it's something that we should be doing. So we will see how things go today. As I was saying, we're targeting a win. Fingers crossed we can get there. Early on, possession quite even. We have had a couple of chances. Nothing concrete as of yet, though, hence the lack of highlight. But 3 shots on target out of 4 attempts at goal. Currently sat in 17th place in the league table, with other teams around us winning and or losing. So, but in terms of number of chances, we're certainly dominating at the moment. But Rennes just starting to pick it up toward the end of this first half. Got a few shots themselves, nothing on target. Possession still in our favour, but a considerable lack of highlights as we approach half time. Nothing doing so far, which is quite disappointing. But it was a similar scenario when we played Fenerbahce. We absolutely battered them on the night, and we just couldn't get anything in front of goal. But that's not an ideal performance, really, in that first half. Tobias Gonzalez, probably with his worst performance of the season so far, rating a 6.3. And I'm half tempted to try and make some changes. But at the same time, we're holding our own. We're sat at 0-0. And like I'm saying, Rennes are a good side now. I don't think I've ever gone a full match without a highlight, though. That would be something. Here is a highlight now, though. Rennes in possession with Boularud. Federico Gonzalez does well to win possession. Chance to play it inside. It's a great ball forward. Eddie Ramalhet picks it up. Chance to lay it across the penalty area. And it's taken a deflection. And Tobias Gonzalez managed to get a touch, but nothing concrete enough. And Chanholm in the end with a comfortable save to make. Very unlucky from our point of view. And here is Tobias Gonzalez with a free kick. Good effort, and it hit the woodwork. And Ramos with the follow-up. And it's a very good save by the goalkeeper Chanholm. It remains 0-0. But we're just starting to turn the screw a that little bit more. But at 0-0, anything can happen. All it takes is one chance for Rennes. They haven't actually had a shot on target yet. And our side is extremely tired now. We're really struggling for fitness at this moment in time. Yallo is going to come on for Ramal Het, who's really struggling. Saglin Benny's not fully fit, really, so can't really be bringing him on. Balde can come on at left wing. And the whole midfield needs resting really as well, to be honest. We're going to get Charles de Ketelaere on. Morikawa can come on again. And Pedri can come on, in fact, as well, for Gonzalez. So we're changing basically the full midfield there. Let's hope we can do something from it. We've certainly got the quality, and we've not really weakened the midfield with the players we've brought on either. Yes, I think out wide we're probably a little bit weaker, but overall, you can't really argue with the substitutions that we've just made, especially considering Morikawa's form as well. He's played very well recently, to be honest. And 5 minutes to go here, I don't think anything's going to happen. Considering everything that we had in the game against Levante, we've had absolutely nothing in this game against Rennes. It's a very boring 0-0 draw. And I say boring, I mean, we've had 17 shots in that game, 10 of which on target, and we've only seen 1 or 2 highlights per team. That one certainly passed a bit quicker, didn't it? I mean, overall, again, good performance, but we just lack the finishing touch, which is a rarity, because in recent games we've been scoring quite a lot of goals. So, obviously, it's happened in Europe, which is a bit of a downfall. We're sat on 8 points with a couple of games to go. We have to win them both. There's no doubt about it. We have to win them both to even have a chance of getting into that top 8. I'm sick of having to play in the playoff, and as a team of Barcelona's stature, we shouldn't be doing these playoff games all the time in the Champions League. We should be qualifying in top 8, but we'll see where we go from there. Just bear with me a minute and we'll have a look at the schedule and see where we're going to come back for tomorrow's video. Hopefully form will continue to go in our favour. Bit disappointed to have had the 0-0, it must be said. Yeah, we've got Shakhtar, Espanyol, Salzburg and Madrid there. We'll probably come back at the end of January, I think. We'll do the last Champions League group game against Salzburg. Could determine whether we finish in the top 8 or not. And then we'll have El Clasico away at Real Madrid in what could be a huge game where the title's concerned. If we move it along a little bit toward the end of the season, we already played. Yes, we've already played Real Madrid, haven't we? Of course. We've got a decent run in toward the end of the season, but in the start of April, we've got Athletico and Villarreal. So they are 2 massive games there. It could determine the title, like I say, even at that point. So fingers crossed, but for now on, we need to focus in. Salzburg and Madrid in tomorrow's episode. Fingers crossed our form can continue. I will have a little look at any business that gets done in the January transfer window. I'm planning on trying to get a couple of players out the door. Don't think I'll be bringing anyone in. But again, anything can happen. We'll wait and see. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for all your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.